Welcome, people. Welcome, people. We are the Unspoken Gems podcast for your mum, for your dad, for your brother, for your sister, for your cousin. We do not discriminate. My name is Kio Apaloo, and to my left, I've got my co-host.
Yes, happening. Myself, Drizz.
And today, we've got another special guest to my left. Introduce yourself, please, miss.
My name is Kim Yanez, and I'm a multifaceted creative from Essex.
Jeez.
And I just want to say that I'm so honoured to be here, guys.
Thank
for
you.
you to
Thank
reach
you.
out
Thank
and
you for
welcome me to your space.
Excellent.
For Unspoken Gems.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Kim. And today, Kim's going to drop a few unspoken gems for us today. As you can see, she explained to you what she does, but we're going to go a bit more in depth today so you can get to know a little bit more about Kim and get more information on the world that she lives in and what she actually does day to day. So Kim, you just explained to us what you actually do. You can give us more of an in-depth information on what that entails and what kind of things you do. Because we can see you do modelling, but what does that entail? And when we say modelling, is it just a generic modelling, or do you do other kind of styles of modelling?
I do more behind the scenes, but I have worked in front of the camera before. But I think I'm stronger in my role when I'm behind the scenes. So instead of being on set, I'm more behind the camera. I'm a photographer. So I'm a multifaceted creative. So that means having different versatile skills, multiple surfaces. I'm a photographer, predominantly a film photographer. I'm a stylist, a editor as well, and yeah, I've done creative direction. I do all sorts, but mainly I like to just say that I'm a content creator because I feel like that fits everything in. So yes, that's me behind the scenes.
So when you say content creators, for example, if someone's going to book you, would they book you as a package, or would you specifically do that one role for that person? So for example, you did the modelling, you did the film stuff, you did the photography. Would you just take a job for photography, or would you come as a package?
I can come as a package. There have been times where I've been everything in my own projects. When someone drops out and you've had to like take place and you have to take things in your own matters, in your own hands. So I've done that before for my own projects. But I offer packages. So like styling, creating mood boards and visions for them. It's just to enhance and help my client like figure out what they want, because sometimes they don't know what they want, but they want to shoot for like I don't know, like cover or just PR shots or just content just to help expand for their advertising. Like I will try and help them direct and bring a vision to life. So I'll be like, okay, so we need to have a look. We need a location. We need to know what kind of shots you want. And then I'll be the photographer. What do you want? Do you want film or digital photography? Like I can put things together just to help you bring your vision to life.
I think that comes with its advantages and perks, because sometimes you do a job, you can go through uni, do the job, but you haven't actually experienced the job. So now if you're booked to do something and somebody wants shots, because you've done the photography and the modelling, you know exactly what they're kind of looking for, which could probably help you in a long run and stuff like that. So in terms of clients, how do you actually source out your clients?
So I've been doing creative work for as long as I can remember, like even when I was younger, and then I did it in college within my courses, and then uni. I studied fashion, so I made connections from there. My first connections from uni, and then through the pandemic, no one wanted fashion, so I worked in a care agency doing admin work, but then I was still leaning towards my creative side. So I was still active on Instagram, sharing projects, and then in 2021 I left my job to pursue a creative freelance career. So that was a big leap. I was like, oh my God, I don't even know what I'm doing. I just filed my first taxes like yesterday. I've never done that before, guys. Make sure you prepare yourself. No one told me nothing. But yeah, going back to the question, I make most of my clients and connections through networking on Instagram. And through Instagram, I go and put myself into spaces like events. So I've been to I think it's called Stylist Awards. I've seen that my clients I've worked with, my pictures got used when they won an award, and then I saw that they had other events coming up, so I
Put yourself in that.
put myself there, booked some tickets, took my friends with me, and I networked, and it was so genuine because everyone was in the same space that, like, we were all very different, but we were all creatives, and there were so many different interests, and like people wanted to work with me and be like, oh, like you do this, like I know someone that needs this person, or I can try and plug myself into your project. But yeah, it was just putting yourself in spaces like that really help.
Yeah, I've heard that quite a lot. Like people, you earn the more links than messaging if you actually put yourself in the actual place, which you've done. And again, a lot of people have wanting to do what you want to do and leave their 9 to 5 and take that jump, which must seem very daunting for you at the time. Very scary. You didn't know what to expect. And obviously the confidence to do that is huge, because
not a lot of people take that leap, innit? You know what I mean?
And you're literally basically your butter and bread. You're basically saying, leave it now. I'm gonna start from the bottom, and that must have been hugely frightening. And how did you actually get across that build the confidence to actually do that? What did you actually do? What helped you to say, you know what, I'm just gonna do this, and I'm just gonna take the risk and just go for it all? What made you push you to do that?
Because doing what I was doing for far too long, it was draining me, and being creative, that's what enlightens me.
That's it.
So life is too short. You need to do what brings you joy, what you actually have passion in as well. So they always say, like, if you want to do something, make sure that like you love it, so you're not just making money, you truly have a passion and purpose. And I've always been creative, so I thought like it's time for me to go, because I've learned everything I could from that admin role. And it was a Filipino agency, and like I had to get out of that environment. No shade. Dita, if you're watching. But like, honestly, I just thought I need to make use of like my interest, and I had a degree in it, and not doing fashion in anything creative just made me feel, a little bit far away from my purpose. And I just had to get back on track and do what aligns with me. For
sure. And just touching what you just stated, Filipino agency. So we know you're from the Philippines. Can you give us a little bit of background about that? What life was like growing up? And
oh my god!
Oh my goodness!
How life was growing up and things like that, and cultural stuff and things like that. How did that go?
So,
was you born there?
I was born there.
Okay.
And I had to speak Tagalog. You were?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm from Manila.
Okay.
So I'm from the capital. The last time I went was so long ago. I probably just won't know anything now. It's all so different. But life back then was, it wasn't comfortable like it is now here. I didn't come from a great background of like wealth or anything like that, but we got by. So yeah. My mum took us over to the UK when I was like 4 years old. So I did grow up here, but because I'm like everywhere in my life, I've always been surrounded and very deep rooted in my culture anyway.
Good, yep.
Yeah, I'm always working with Filipinos. My first job was at a Filipino shop. Even then, they still ask me, "Can you cover some shifts?" I'm like, "Yes, Tito." Like, sure. Like, I'll come in. And I like to cook Filipino food. I still speak Filipino. My homegirls are Filipino, and we're all like, I have a half Filipino, half Japanese friend, and half Filipino, half English. Like, there's so many of us that all come from the culture, but we just connect. So
Great. So you haven't gone back to Philippines, you said?
I'm planning on going back in May, but I haven't been probably like 12 years ago. Yeah. So it's been a long time. I have a few missions to do when I get there. I will be going to the beach for the first time. I've never been to the beach. I'm always in the city, and I feel like I'm a water sign. I'm a Pisces. It makes so much sense. I'll feel like my spiritual realms, like everything, my chakras.
And you get excellent shots there as well if you want to take any pictures.
I'm bringing my film camera. I'm bringing my film camera with me 100%.
So what's the crossover like in terms of industry wise? Could you take your industry and stuff to Philippines? Is anything you kind of think about doing with?
You know what I have since uni, because the representation standards in the Philippines is not where it should be right now. Oh my goodness, their standards, they idolize Western standards where it's like Western beauty, and it's like, well, the true there's nothing wrong with that. All beauty is, it's global, like, but with Filipinos, like, there's a lot of like with skin whitening, and I've been picked on with my features and whatnot, and like skin color, like, they're very backwards and racist over there when it comes to representation.
So when you say picked on by actual Filipino people? Or?
Yeah. They do. They say like, my way or my features, my lips, my nose, like they're just very like they're Filipinos are so harsh sometimes.
I wouldn't
right?
say all of them, but I would say it's judgmental.
It's very judgmental, right?
Over the smallest things,
You're not a certain, like, you don't do certain things.
Yeah,
or, like,
and careers.
Like, I can only imagine, because obviously you say that you're doing the modelling thing, but then it's like, bro, like, our mums, bro, we're not doctors, and we're not nurses,
right.
We're not this, like, you're nothing in this.
I can't lie, I'll be working in the NHS.
So what, how's your family and relatives think about the modelling, if they're quite judgmental sometimes? How does that, what did they say about that?
My mum is supportive, whatever I do, but like she's always like, when I picked my fashion course, it's like, why don't you, why not this, why not that? How are you gonna get money? And it's just like, but mum, this is me. Like, I enjoy it. Like, I find like I feel enlightened. I feel whole when I'm doing fashion, because it's something that I've always been interested in. But then my mum is like, but how are you gonna earn? My stepsister does fashion as well, and she's like, she doesn't earn that much money, like, can you not? And I'm like, no, well, mum, like, that's her career, and like I'm just lucky that someone else in the family is also taking that path. But I'm currently working in the NHS. So
if anyone's watching I just put it in there. I like that one.
I had to say, because it's so true. It's about I mean, like, they're always like trying to push this agenda and narrative to be a nurse or a doctor just because of the money, or a lawyer or whatever. But like, I needed a little bit more support and money after doing a year of my creative. So I've been doing freelance on the free time and weekend or whatever day off I have. And I still continue that. But I also use my job to help support. And it's only around the corner from my house, so it's so convenient. And my mum is off my back about it, so it's fine.
I guess that makes a lot of sense, because I know a lot of creatives still do have a job. To fund.
Of course.
100%.
The end goal is obviously your creative job to make more than your actual job. But how are you gonna fund that if you're not got no income?
Exactly.
So that makes a lot of sense. And how did you find it juggling the two, though?
Juggling the two, I'll be real. I'll be very, very real. So some days I'm very organized, and some days I'm not. It depends on what life is throwing at you. The universe will do very interesting things to test how bad do you want this. How, you won't stray from the path, but like, there'll be challenges along the way, and it could be financial or like personal, with like family or anything like that. But I think just juggling, just taking things day by day and not putting pressure on myself, but knowing what I need to do by noting and organizing what do I need done by the week. Don't try and be on point every day. Just take things day by day. So it's okay. Like, I know that with creatives, there's a lot of deadlines as well with editing and whatnot. And like, some people can be unreasonable, but you have to put your foot down and be like, look, this isn't going to turn out the way you want it to turn out. And I want it to turn out for you for the best. So you have to be patient, because you want to change this and that. And I feel like you know, I'll try my best, and you know, if it still looks funny, I'll try. I do everything I can to make the vision happen. So there's towards a deadline, but yeah, there's that, and also having a 9 to 5. It can take up a lot of your time. So
No, I can imagine.
yeah.
Because, like, is there any struggles you've really come across? Obviously, COVID was the main one for a lot of people because it kind of hindered their progress and doing so much stuff they wanted to do. But is there any extreme struggles that kind of hit you to a point where you was kind of thinking, like, is this really what I want to do?
No.
Nothing at all.
No, when I left that job, I was so happy because I was like, this feels right.
Yeah.
And I feel like the more I do things that feel right to me, the more I feel like I'm going the right direction in my path.
You have a purpose, isn't it?
Right? Exactly. I have an intention. I'm not here to make money. So, like, money was kind of not really like...
Bonus.
Yes. It wasn't like, oh, like, I'm worried, how am I going to... But further down the line I was. But then, like, I jumped in and made this leap just by feeling right about what I'm doing and, like, doing what's best for me. And I was really looking forward to building my portfolio and just updating my work from, like, uni, because it was like a year that I worked in the care agency. So I wanted to grow, and I was just looking forward to that. So I didn't have that worry about COVID. In fact, I had more people reach out to me, and I even traveled to, like, Southampton, and had to do shoots for a couple of days, and then I traveled to London and meeting more people. And I feel like everyone was on that bandwagon of, like, just connecting and linking up, because there's nothing else to do, you know. So obviously, not breaking any COVID rules.
I was gonna say that there, but no COVID rules are broken. Everyone wore their mask. Don't worry about that.
But deep into COVID, the lockdown, like, I was still working, so I was fortunate enough to have the luxuries of working from home, and my support system was healthy. My people were healthy. I was able to just continue living and getting on. So, yeah.
Which is excellent. Going back once again, touching when you said how you get your clients, Instagram being one of the main sources of doing that. Do you feel at the moment Instagram is the best way to absorb and gain clients, or is there any other ways like TikTok that you can use to obviously get clients? Because I know at the moment a lot of people do like makeup routines and all that kind of stuff on TikTok. Do you feel there's any other avenues that's good to source clients?
I mean, for me, it's always been Instagram and putting yourself in spaces and events. But I'm kind of new to TikTok. I feel like such a
TikTok newbie,
like I am Generation Z. Like, I should be able to know what I'm doing, but I'm like, how do I do this? And then I see Paris. She's like, active, and I'm like, oh my god, maybe I need to ask her. How do I edit like this?
TikTok's a funny one.
It is.
You have to know what you're doing with TikTok because you can be posting stuff every day and it's not getting no engagement.
Right, so that's what's happening to me. But I post it on Instagram and the engagement is huge. But then, like,
because your following's bigger on Instagram.
Right, that's probably what it is.
And not just that. I think with TikTok, see, Instagram, you don't have to jump on trends and things like that. You can post your stuff. If it's good content, people look at it. With TikTok, I think there's so much trends. If you're not keeping up to date with that, you're just going to get lost in the algorithm. And before you know it, you're posting stuff, and people have done that 2 years ago. I'm
not really a trends kind of girl. I'm kind of timeless.
Yeah, okay.
So
you hear that, people? Make it live
You
forever.
know,
Do you hear that, people?
You have, because I have a vision, and it's not just for a disposable trend.
Yes,
I don't want that.
No, that's good.
Most of my content that I share on the page that you guys have contacted me on, which is on a Double Goddess, that's more like my branding. But then my creative page, that is, I'm very disciplined. I set a lot of boundaries on what content I consume and what inspires me and who I follow. Only creatives on that page. And that's probably it's my favorite page to work on and access and always go on, because I always feel like, all right, my screen time is being spent right, And I share a lot of my film photography work, and it's probably one of my favorite formats to work on and my favorite kind of content to share. And I make every post unique, and everything is very intentional. I I can't lie, I'm a massive gatekeeper when it comes to my content. I have so much content to post and share that the world needs to see, but I'm a perfectionist. So it's like I need to post this next to that, and what comes next, and how am I going, like on what days as well, because I've done social media management as well. So I'm like try to make everything precise. But it's
Going on that, because I think this is something you'd be a good person to ask, especially people that experience this. I know a lot of people experience content anxiety.
Content anxiety.
In the sense that they get anxious with posting
or
up stuff, or don't know what to post.
Okay.
Like some people won't post for days on end because they're scared of what engagement they're gonna get and things like that. Is that something you've ever experienced? And if you haven't, or if you have, how can you help people who experience that kind of issues?
I think if you're having that kind of feeling where it puts you off when you're like trying to post, or when you post something and you delete it.
Yeah, that one.
I think you should just, listen to your gut, but like, I think you should just post it. You never know, like what's that saying? Like, like your dust is someone else's gold or something. I don't know. Like, there's some saying like that. Don't hold back on like creation, like even when you don't think it's perfect. But if you have a standard, like don't post it. Like that's me. I'm quite like, I hold myself back because I'm a massive gatekeeper until I feel like, no, this is the time to post it and this is how I want to post it. But I feel like you should just go for it. That's how you put yourself there. I look back at my previous posts and I'm like, okay, like I wouldn't I can see my evolution through my feed, and just let your profile build, and you can always archive. It's okay. Like Instagram has those features, which is really reliable, but I think you should just post it and see where it takes you. After a day, if you feel like, oh, I don't like this anymore, then delete it or archive it. But at the end of the day, your Instagram is, if you're on your creative Instagram, then like sure, represent yourself and your work. But if it's on your personal, like, that's up to you what you want to do, but just see where it takes you and just trust that you can always get rid and add. And
so I see people on Instagram, like, for example, they'll have like about 250 posts, and then next day they've got like 10 posts.
Yeah.
Is that something that people do, and why do they do that? Like they archive everything. Is that like refreshing?
They're rebranding. Okay. I've done that a few times. I do that a lot on my personal brand, but on my creative page, I know who I am. But I'm always rebranding. Like I say that I'm timeless, especially in my fashion and my content and creative side. But like when it comes to my personal, I'm like, I don't want to show this anymore. I don't want to show this picture anymore. And sometimes I feel like I get the wrong attention on my personal one, and I do not associate my creative and personal accounts together because I want people to take me seriously on my creative page where my clients are at. I've had instances where I, like, as a woman creative in an industry where I do work with a lot of guys, I just try to keep professional and place my boundaries, but at the same time, that's my brand. I'm a bad bitch, like I represent that. I follow a lot of bad bitches on there too, like I'm trying. Can I swear?
No, people say that. Everyone keeps saying that. That's good.
You're gonna beat me out. But like I do not associate my pages together. Well, I associate my personal page and then say, hey, follow my creative page, but I don't do that the other way around because I just don't have good experiences, or I just want to be able to place boundaries and be taken seriously because I'm a creative.
Do you feel that some clients might follow your creative side, creative Instagram, and then try to come to your personal for the wrong reasons? Has that happened before?
That has happened where a client has found me. But I just welcome it because I've built a relationship with them already, and they've like, I trust them. So it's in my control. I could easily get them to unfollow me because Instagram has that feature where you can get people to unfollow you, or you could block them. Yeah, you can do that.
So you can get people to that you like basically like reporting them. And they'll have to
Oh
unfollow
no.
you?
So if they follow you, there's an option where you can get them to unfollow you. Yeah.
Bro, I don't even.
Yeah,
That's
and
how I'm hearing that.
you should look into the options
Generation
and
Z, I need
settings.
to J lots.
Right.
So I never knew about that.
Bro.
No, because it's really helpful. Look at the tools that Instagram have
Yeah,
because
yeah.
it helps discipline your page and
yes.
what you want to see. I do it all the time. I see an advert. I'll be scrolling on stories and then I see someone pop up and it's like a selfie of them, but it's like you're not. What are you trying to tell me? It's just a selfie and then like music in the background. I report that shit. Like, not to be petty, but like, no, I just want like Instagram. I'm telling Instagram, do not show me this ever again. I don't want to see this.
Yeah.
It's nothing to do with me, and you're just wasting my time. So yeah.
No, that's true. I didn't know you get to report them. So what, it just stays out of the algorithm.
Somebody's just trying to advertise. And I'm like, no, report page. It's a spam. Like, no, honestly.
That's crazy. That's crazy. I know Instagram's got a few of its issues they need to clean up a bit. Especially people getting the bots and all this kind of silliness. That's been on for a long time now. So I don't know where these things will come from. But other than that, I know a lot of people are now branching off to TikTok because of things like this.
Yeah.
But I don't know if TikTok's as secure as Instagram because I didn't know about the unfollow feature.
With TikTok, if they've
No,
got
with
any
Instagram,
features?
I don't think TikTok's got things like that. I think TikTok's more open. And again, when I look at social media's sites, I also think about children and how accessible it is for people who are using it for the wrong reason to access it. And I think TikTok at the moment is one of them. I think there's so much mad people.
Agree.
Like Instagram, you can kind of get a glimpse of what that person's trying to do.
Yeah.
TikTok,
Bro,
you can't.
Free for all.
It's just free for everyone, and that's what I don't like about it because it's so open and accessible to everyone. And originally, it was for kids.
Yeah.
When it called, wasn't it like Musically or something like that before it was TikTok? It was like another.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And then they Musically got bought out by TikTok or something. I could be wrong.
Yeah, I
correct me if I'm
remember
wrong,
that.
but it was something like that.
Yeah.
So usually that was for kids. Now, when I see grown adults using TikTok, because I'm not talking like 30 plus, I'm talking older than 30, 50, 60, 70 using TikTok. I'm like, why are you using TikTok for? And obviously, sorry people who think I'm like disrespecting you, but I think certain content and certain social media should be for certain people. Do you know what I mean? Like you said, your Instagram, you've got two, one for creative, one for personal.
Yeah.
I think you should be able to kind of differentiate the two.
Yeah, definitely.
You know what I mean? So that's why I'm wanting to get you on there today so you can discuss these things about content and stuff. And being a social media manager, like you said,
Yeah.
any tips you can give to people who are struggling with their social media? For example, can't grow followers, don't know what to post. Is there any kind of advice you can give them?
I think you should just be yourself and what you're putting out there to share with the world because that is going to go everywhere and anyone can access it. What you share, I hope that it aligns with your personal brand and in everything that you do as well. Especially if you're trying to grow a page, if you're a business, then you should look at aesthetics and get into communities online. I got into a little film photography community just by sharing my work and everyone just kind of circulate each other's work, sharing it, supporting it. If you do that too by sharing your content and use the right hashtags as well, you'll find the right people. And following the right people too and interacting with other pages really helps with getting your page, noticed. I really feel like that helped me grow my page, and I don't have thousands of followers, but I have real followers. And that is what genuine love and support as well. Like people that I've met in events and people that I've met just from online or shoots or being on set, and then we all exchange Instagrams and get to know each other. Like that is the best way, is to just put yourself in a community and get yourself involved in the industry.
I thought the followers on Instagram, you should be able to like see one of your followers and genuinely be able to say hi to them, not just like just bypass them.
I saw you.
Yeah. The ones that people message you, I saw you here, but you don't say hello to you. Which is I think people need to be doing that more. And like you said, real followers, you can engage in people outside of Instagram as well, which is great. And a lot of people don't have that. At all. Let me just quickly shout out the bag quickly. The sponsors for today. We've got the Bag UK that
Out to the
sponsors some
bag.
treats. As you can see, they've got all different American candies and drinks, and
And what, no prime though, nah?
no prime, £100 a bottle for prime, unfortunately. But yeah, if you want to hit them up, it's the Bag UK. Give them a shout for all your confectionery and sweets and anything. If you're having parties, they can supply that. They also do drinks as well, but that's the homemade drinks. But as you can see, they've got the Kool-Aid there. And again, Kim, if you want to help yourself, take some goodies away with yourself today. If you want
Well,
to.
I see that little baby bag.
But yeah, help yourself if you want to. But yeah, Kim, so going back to your home life and family life and stuff like that, do you have any siblings or anything like that?
I do. I have 2 older sisters. One of them works in the NHS, classic. She's a HCA. Yeah, you know, and she loves it. She absolutely loves it.
Well, at least she loves it.
I know, because all her little Filipino friends, they all work in the same ward and whatnot. So it's just like,
Little gag.
there definitely is. There's always Filipinos run the NHS.
Yeah, there
Filipinos,
are a lot of them in
it's too
there,
many,
yeah.
and I'm involved. But and then I've got my sister. One of my other older sisters, she is a hairstylist as well. So yeah, she's amazing as well. So I really connect with her more because she's a creative in her own way. And she's all about the visuals and like with pictures. She knows my angles and whatnot. So it just helps so much.
So when you're getting pictures of your sister, that usually
Yeah, she loves pictures. I love pictures, so it just works. It's like, okay, if we don't get on, at least we can get on here.
That's true. That's true. So in regards to your pictures, like photographers, how do you like get your photographers? Do you usually message them, or do they message you and say, look, we've got some shoots we want to do, want you to be a model? Does it work like that? How does it go?
I did more modeling back at uni, but I have been reached out, and I get people who message me from being on set, and they're like, oh, like even though I'm there to take pictures on set to like music videos, I'll be like, oh, you was on set this time. Like, do you wanna go on one of our music videos, or are you able to shoot?
Like actually be in the music
Yeah, they asked me, and I'm like, oh, like I wasn't even involved that time, but okay, like, it didn't work out, but I have been approached a few times. It's not really for me, to be honest. I think I'm trying to stray away from the modeling. I don't mind music videos. I work a lot on music videos. Music videos are great. I find it very productive. I really turn up on my own. Sometimes I'm the only girl there. And I make myself like known when it comes to the other models and they're turning up on their own. Like let's connect. Like, you know, like I'm here as a photographer, but I extend my grace. Like, do you need anything? Like, tell me when you get home safe. You know, I feel like I fill in that space that's needed in an industry where it's like a workspace and environment that's a lot of guys and there's not many women and they don't really know each other. There needs to be a safe space to stick together. So I do my part, and usually the artist that I'm working with, they're like, yeah, can you speak to her? Can you like make her feel more comfortable? And I will. Like,
that's good. I think, like you said, it's kind of like what you said. The don't want to swear, but the bad bee conglomerate. Like you all look after each other, and I think that should be kind of like a little thing for the woman, like a society. Because I see a lot of women. It's like people kind of put the word bad bee in a negative light. But I think sometimes it can be put in a positive light, because just a group of women who have got confidence.
Yeah.
And are happy to show their confidence, and no matter what men say, it's got nothing to do with you. It's us as women expressing our confidence for us.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And I think that needs to be put in a, I might trademark that, you know. But it has to be put in like a positive kind of like place, you know what I mean? Even you said yourself, you're Generation Z, you're part of that Generation Z, but you're quite different in the sense that you just don't like the trends. You want timeless stuff, you want your things to live on, and that's quite different to hear, because many people were part of the Generation Z, just like the little things that keep going. What kind of made you want to be quite timeless and have that kind of old soul kind of like vibe?
I like this answer. I mean, I like this question, but I find myself to be timeless because I like to, with my photography work, I like to use film so it looks like I could take it from any era. and it's
As in,
authentic,
sorry, as an actual film.
like film photography.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
So like
yes.
it's old school
Old school
photography,
cameras. Yeah,
right?
okay, yeah.
So with that, it just feels like it could be taken from any era, and like trends are always coming back. There's 2000s now. Y2K is becoming a fashion trend. Other fashion trends like the 70s, the 90s are always a trend. They always come back. But like just being able to dress in any era and pull it off, that's why it's timeless, because I don't want to stick to a trend. I'll stick to how I want to look in streetwear, and I just don't want to be part of something very disposable, because fast fashion as well, that's where trendy things start. It's trendy fashion, like it's not good for the environment. It's very disposable. So
I think you're right, and in the sense that
I'm sustainable too, so that's why I like timeless.
And I think, like you just said, fast fashion doesn't work. But like you said, 90s, you got clothes, you got trainers that have come from 90s back into the day.
Yeah.
And that's because, like you said, they're timeless.
With me as well, when I style, when I do my styling, whether it's personal or when I'm like sourcing my own clothes, I like to go on Depop, Vinted, find gems and pieces that like I like to actually spend time sourcing clothes, looking for it, because it's unique. And like no one will be able to find it ever again unless they find like a replica or whatever. But for me, I feel like that works for me. It's good for the world, and it's good for my pockets, you know. And I just have fun with it. And I feel like with getting pieces that are from the charity shop or from online, like I don't know how old that is. I know that that's not from last season's Zara or whatever. Like, you know, I just know that I've pieced together an intentional outfit that
So that's
it's all me.
thrift shopping, as they say.
Thrift shopping, I love it. I love it.
That's
I'm even wearing it right now, you know.
That's growing. Like,
yeah.
I think Brick Lane was taken for granted when we was young. Now it's like people know the beautiful place. Like
now
Brick
it's
Lane.
expensive.
Yeah, it is. Where's one shop? Rocket. One place Rocket that was like a big place back in the day. They had some dope Levi pieces. Now you can get Levi with like the diamonds and stuff. Ragged Priest, they used to have that in top man. All that kind of stuff is gone now. But in terms of styling, do you style people by like their shape? Is it like, how would you just like, because some people wearing the wrong clothes for their shape. How would you go around styling?
I love playing around with silhouettes and shape. So asking what kind of look they go for. So if they're going for like street, okay. So I'm thinking denim, leathers, chains, what kind of street? Because you could go down different paths. You could go down like 90s, or you can even remix a bit of 70s, like colors, patterns with like denim and like distressed denim with like a denim jacket as well, like double denim it up. Like you could go down different ways. So for me, I like to look at like what their goal is for the look, but then also looking at their features. What confident, like what brings out their confidence. So just enhancing maybe the length, because some people want to look taller, or so I'll try and get straight leg trousers. Just being very aware of like what pieces and what shape, silhouette. Because like flared jeans and like balloon like style, like that's all coming back around.
It's
and
amazing. I can't believe that. When I see that as well now, thinking I've dashed away so much pieces like this, and I could have kept it. Like, remember when people used to wear the big baggy Visu jeans and stuff like that, boot cuts. It's crazy now. The fact that these things have come around is, like you said, it's forever gonna keep changing. And that's why I think now you don't become a hoarder, but a lot of your pieces at home don't throw away. And that's why I like Depop and things like this, because even if you do throw it away, you're not throwing it because you get money back for it. So you can use it for something else. Obviously, again, give to charity if you can, people. Don't just throw your stuff in the bin. But I like things like Depop and that, because you can reinvest into other things after.
And I feel like when you look for something, you want it.
Yes.
Because you're searching for something in particular. And for me, when I buy something, I wear it over and over again, but I wear it in different ways, million ways. I like to just experiment and have fun with it. So just like also looking at inspiration, I have like 3 different style icons. I have Rihanna. She's so bold and daring with her looks. She could wear anything and she'd get away with it. And I'm like, let me try this. So I do it too. She's on my mood board a lot. Alexa Demi. So she's an actress. She's from Euphoria.
Okay.
I love her style. She's timeless. She always goes back to like 60s fashion as well, 70s. But her silhouette is that she's small, she's short and petite like me. And her build is similar to me. So like if I can see that, you know, it's working well for her, I try it out too.
Yeah.
And a lady May, who's this up and coming, she's collaborated a lot with Jordans as well. So I'm actually wearing her collaboration now. She's African American and Filipino. So when I learned that, and she had a cultural collaboration as well, kind of her shoes represented 2 sides of her culture. And I was like, this is so cool. Like, I love this. Like, I'm just gonna, see, like, look at her. I just kept investing I just kept seeing her pop up on my Instagram, and then I followed her, and then I saw more of her work, and then I ended up getting the shoes. So yeah, she's one of the people that I look up to as well. So, but she's just an icon in streetwear in general. But yeah.
That's wicked. And I think the fact that you get inspiration from others, you're only going to become an inspiration yourself.
Yes.
Which is good, because you're getting the best of others and making it into your own
right
kind of thing, which is good. Which a lot of people do, but it's good to do it and find yourself and find your niche from the beginning, instead of keep rebranding yourself.
Yeah.
Because you're not building as that one person.
I had that issue.
Yeah.
I was like, I didn't like with my Instagram, that whole like archiving like hundreds of posts. I've been there. Because I even put on my story, like, asking my followers, like, what style would you put me under? And they were like, oh, like bad bitch style, or like influencer style, or like you. But then you go down like streetwear, and it's quite rugged, but like cool. And I'm like, okay, yeah, no, I agree, but like, you know, I don't know. Like I didn't know what path to go down. But then I started like putting mood boards together, and like starting with other clients helped me to put my own style down. So yeah, I know myself better now. It took 2 years to do that though, I'll be honest. Like, yeah.
You got to take time on these things. If you rush it, it never goes to plan,
and then
which is good.
Yeah, and then you find out who you really are and what you really like and what aligns with you, and then that's your brand image. And you stick with it, and you just keep growing.
But Kim, before you go, we want to see if you can give some advice to people who want to follow the same shoes as you, and kind of the best way to get there, but without rushing it. So the way I say that is, don't do it the steroid way. Do it the natural way.
Yes.
You know what I mean? How can they get there? Do you know what I mean? Don't do the steroid, do it the natural. Like, how can they get to where you've got? Because like you said, it took you 2 years, and I'm sure it took you longer to do other things. But how can they be in your place, in your shoes now, and feel as confident as you now? What they can do to get there?
I think be open-minded and authentic. What I mean by you being authentic, like, know what you want and place boundaries. Over time, those boundaries will change because you'll find different interests, and you'll connect with different people that might bring different things out of you. And they might inspire you differently too. But like, you should place boundaries so you know what you want and who you want to be. So I think just staying true to yourself, and if it doesn't sit with you, don't do it. If you feel like, oh, this is a bit of a risk, but I don't know if I should try it, I think you should try it.
Yeah,
see where it goes, because there's no L's really, there's no losses, there's more lessons. And I think you should be open-minded to let yourself take those risks, but know who you are and know what's good for you. You know, believe in your spirit and the universe will tell you things and bring opportunities to you. Because if it aligns with you, it's for you.
Excellent. You hear that, people? That was a gem. That was a gem from Kim. You see the silence when you're absorbing everything in. You could just hear a penny drop.
It's the confirmation.
Yeah. No, like literally,
yes.
It felt like I was like I can't even say it. Anyway, let's go. Thank you very much, Kim, for coming on today. We really appreciate your time and the gems that you dropped for us, and hopefully you can help somebody who views and listens to this.
Yes.
And yeah, thank you once again, Kim. Most appreciated.
Thank you. I'm so honoured. Thank you, guys.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Kim. Thank you very much. Yeah.